Inspiring stories of recovery, practical tips for wellness, developing a culture of care. Welcome to Blue and Beyond, your official Air Force Wounded Warrior Program podcast. Hey there, Warriors. I'm your host, Walt Myrie, and today we're joined by Miss Candace Escobedo from the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program Wellness Team, and we're going to talk about what it means to truly care. Candace, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, I know you fairly well because we've worked together for a period of time, but our warriors may not know you in the same way. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit of background on what the wellness program does and how you fit into that.
Sure, Walt. I started this program in 2009. I am retired military, and I truly love the mission of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program. I started off as a care manager, and I really developed a knack, I guess you can say, for talking with the warriors and just really getting them to trust me and open up because I truly care about people. I care about helping people. And so that's led me into the position I am now, which is working in the wellness program.
That's super fantastic, and your experience there, I'm sure, goes a long way in helping you build those relationships that are so important with our warriors. Tell me a little bit about the wellness program and what exactly it does.
Okay, so we felt the need for a wellness program, not only with our warriors, but also our staff. As everyone is aware, the suicide rate in the Air Force this year alone is triple what it was in 2017. And because of that, we started training our staff to do some suicide intervention techniques. And as we started doing that with staff, we started to learn that even folks that work with us have a lot of things going on in their life, as all of us do. And when you start opening and sharing with one another in a safe environment, you really learn a lot about people. And it's the same way with the warriors. And based off that, we felt that we really needed to establish something for both warriors and staff. And so we created this wellness program, which we started in April of 2019. And myself and Armando Franco are in the wellness program. And we're there to think of things that are sort of outside the box. We teach journaling. We teach suicide intervention training. We teach mental health first aid. We've done a lot of these certifications so that we can help our warriors and our staff as well.
What I'm hearing from you, Candace, is that taking care of those that take care of our airmen and our warriors and those that support them is just as important as taking care of the warrior directly.
Correct, because if you're stressed as a staff member, that's going to relate to the warrior who already is stressed in everything that's going on in their life. The better we can take care of ourselves, the better we're able to help our warriors and their families.
And I know firsthand, Candace, that the things that we learn through the wellness team here on the staff go right to the warrior through us. So we're able to help them understand some of those techniques as well, and I think it's really beneficial for them.
Correct. And so one of the things that we do on the non-medical care side of the house is if there is a warrior who's experiencing suicidal thoughts or they're really going through a really tough time and they're having a lot of suicidal ideation, the non-medical care manager will talk with the warrior and let them know, hey, we have something called a wellness program. And what they can do is they can be that extra level of care to make contacts, to keep in touch with you a little more. Because sometimes with their caseload, they can't get to everybody more than once a month. Some can, some can't. And so that's where we kind of step in and we make a connection with the warrior. And then we give them some extra tools, some fun stuff like journaling, some of the phone apps that are out there and available for doing mindfulness training, meditation, all those sorts of things that are kind of outside the box, but really help people in their recovery.
We see these words everywhere if you look across the Air Force's Wounded Warrior Program. But what do they really mean? When you see the words care beyond duty, what does that mean to you? That's our slogan, but what does it mean? How does it feel? How do we make somebody that's part of our program understand what that is?
To me, the care beyond duty has always been above and beyond. So you have a warrior who is in the hospital and he's going to miss his WAPS test date. There are procedures in place, but a lot of times the units aren't really aware of what to do. And they don't really help the airmen to get through that. And so our program goes above and beyond. We call up to AFPC. We get the dates changed. We figure out how to work those things so he or she doesn't have to worry about oh my gosh, I'm trying to recover from a broken leg, and yet I got WAPS testing and I keep getting messages. And so to me, that's the type of care beyond duty. Many of our staff take calls after hours, chat with people online, whether it's through Facebook or Instagram or just a text if they're feeling bad. I've had warriors tell me, I know you get paid to do what you do, but I could tell that if you weren't getting paid, you'd still do it. And that is correct. And there's several of us that feel that way. That's care beyond duty.
So as I've engaged with warriors and the families that support them going through this continuum of care, once they've been, identified as ill, injured, or wounded, the common theme that I hear is care, right? They feel like they're genuinely cared for, and we've really created a culture of caring within the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program. How do we make that culture of caring grow? What does it mean to have a culture of caring, whether it's at the installation level or your particular unit level, or maybe even within your own family environment? What does that mean?
It means really taking the time to get to know your people. When I was growing up in the Air Force many, many years ago, I always felt there was a supervisor or my first sergeant who truly cared. And I knew that I could always go to them with any problem or issue I had. And I think it's the same today. Our Air Force has kind of changed, and traditionally, the Air Force is not the ones that go off to war and get hurt. It's more the other services. In my opinion, it seems that it's taken a toll on our Air Force because they don't know how to respond quite well to that when people get injured. If they're struggling, the extra caring that leadership and one another care for people, truly care, listen to them, talk to them, take the time to find out what's going on. There's always something more behind it than what you see in front of you. And that's probably the biggest problem or issue that I see leaderships or units having through talking with warriors. And when they're injured, they say that they feel they're being abandoned, they don't care, they're left out because they just don't see what's going on behind it.
So Candace, with your active duty Air Force service, I know you spent a good amount of time in the Air Force, plus your time here working with the Air Force's Wounded Warrior Program. I'm sure that you've been able to observe a shift in the way that we deal with people who are experiencing these types of situations and the turbulence in their lives that we see. What are the big changes that you've seen and observed, and what does that look like to the warrior?
I would say, especially this year alone, with the suicide rates, it is all the way at the top levels are talking about it, the units, the bases, everyone's wondering, what can we do? So we've done so much training, and it's getting out there. And warriors and folks out there at the unit levels, when we go on events and we talk to people, they're seeing, hey, I have someone who I think is struggling. What can I do? And really the basic answer is care about your people. Talk to them. Show true, genuine care. Nobody cares what you know until they know that you care about them. It doesn't matter that you have 2 or 3 degrees on the wall. If you care about them, that's what they're going to remember. That's the thing we try to get across, is take that time to listen to their story. Take that time to just pull them aside. The big thing that they're saying now, the slogan is take a knee. Yes, take a knee. Take time to talk to the person, or at least just let them know you care, that you're there. Show true empathy and genuine concern.
Candace, it's really been great talking with you today. Thank you for all that you do for our program, for our warriors, and for us on the staff here at AFW2 to make us well. Wellness is so important.
Yes, I agree it is. And we're always looking for new things to do so that we can bring it to the warriors as well as the staff. I'd also like to share a tip for today's wellness podcast. Music is more than just good for the soul. It actually can manipulate your mood. If you find yourself feeling down, put on an upbeat, happy tune, and you'll notice how much better you'll feel. Thank you. I enjoyed being here.
This has been an episode of Blue and Beyond, your official Air Force Wounded Warrior Program podcast. Connect with us on social media to keep up with all things AFW2. And be on the lookout for the next Blue and Beyond podcast.